and part of my wanting to do this is for someone to look at these video clips and be able to say, okay, I'm an actor. I'm tired of auditioning and other people's vision and not maybe acting in the things that I want to act in or do the things that I want to do. So I want to create my own material. What was the change in 2016 or 2015? I don't know, whenever you wrote it or started the process, that made you go, okay, I'm working pretty consistently. But I have this story I want to tell, and I want to get it going.
It's a two-parter. I had been working fairly consistently, but I ran into a period of time where I wasn't auditioning very much, and it didn't make a whole lot of sense because I'd been working pretty consistently. So I wasn't sure what was going on. I wasn't happy with my representation at the time because of that. And the second part of it, and I'm talking about Speak now, we're talking about Speak, is I had been through a really traumatic experience in my early 20s in a relationship, right? In a very toxic and eventually abusive relationship. I was like 21, right out of college. And it was really difficult to get out of that, right? It really shaped me in a lot of ways. And so 2016, right, many years after that, there was this coming together of timing and me having kind of more space artistically than I had in a little while, and enough time having gone by from that trauma for that story to kind of start bubbling up in me in a way that was ready to be like expressed, because it wasn't an open wound anymore, it was a scar, right? So I could actually handle the narrative in a way with some distance and some context. And I can't really explain beyond that why that story just started scratching at me, and it wouldn't leave me alone. And that's always a sign, I came to find later, that if you can't stop thinking about this thing, even if you don't quite know what it's going to be yet, like a short or a play or a movie or whatever, pay attention to it. So it kind of just took on its own momentum. And I think the story was so personal to me, and I felt a kind of authority in that, because like, how could I deny knowing about what the story was? It was my story. That sort of carried me through any insecurity I might have had otherwise about executing something, like as a director and a writer.